If you come to Switzerland, you'll be greeted in one of 4 languages.
Salut!
Ciao.
Hallo!
Allegra.
Many Swiss speak in 2 or 3 tongues. This is to help them overcome the divide between the 4 different language regions. It's not only language that sets these areas apart, they often have different cultural and political values as well.
Militaires, equatis passibus, pergite, levu.
The linguistic boundaries of Switzerland started to form when the Romans left. The Germanic Alemanni conquered northern Switzerland and brought their language with them. This finally evolved into Swiss German. Dialects differ between cantons.
Berndeutsch ist einfach gemütlich. Und Walliserdeutsch ist so urchig. Und den Bündner Dialekt, den muss man einfach gerne haben.
Dialect isn't a standard written form, except in messages between friends, or in some books or songs, for example. French speakers say they find it very difficult to understand it. French language comedian Marie-Thérèse Pochet makes fun of how it sounds to French speakers.
Les Bourbines parlent une langue que personne ne comprend par eux. Ça s'appelle le suisse allemand. C'est un peu comme de l'allemand, mais craché.
Nummer 1, 2, 3, 4.
The Swiss generally read and write in standard High German. But in Zurich and Aargau, initiatives were approved to ban standard High German in kindergartens and promote dialect instead. In western Switzerland, the Burgundians adopted the language of the local Gallo-Romans.
Refrain, couleur du ciel, parfum de mes 20 ans.
The local dialect, patois, was gradually nudged out by standard French.
Bonjour la classe.
Bonjour monsieur Continati.
Swiss school children start learning a second national language 2 years before the end of primary school.
La couleur de mon jaune est noire.
Recently there have been efforts to drop French as the second national language in northern schools. Some teach English instead.
I cannot nothing fail to this issue.
There's controversy over English replacing the national languages in primary schools. Some say it's a threat to national unity. There are more than 36,000 Romansh speakers, mostly living in the east. Like patois in the west, it is a language in decline. Romansh is made up of 5 different regional dialects. Romansh Grishoon, a combination of the main ones, is the official language of the Confederation, but in most schools, teachers still speak the respective regional dialect. The institution Lea Romancha tries to preserve the culture and identity of Romansh. Italian is spoken by more than 500,000 people, mostly living in the south. German, French and Italian are now the official languages of the Confederation. All federal documents are in these 3 languages, and food and beverages have labels in different languages. The cantons of Fribourg, Bern, Valais and Graubünden are officially bilingual.
Fribourg oder Freiburg.
In Fribourg, Bern and Valais, German and French are spoken. In Graubünden, German, Romansh and Italian are spoken. The Swiss Broadcasting Corporation is divided up into different language units, each broadcasting in the local lingo. There is no one national TV or radio programme as such. Similarly, there is no one national newspaper. The papers cater for the regions in which they're published. The Rösti-Graben, or Rösti-Ditch, is a humorous term for the cultural boundary between the German and French-speaking regions. The ditch is marked by the river Sarine in Canton Fribourg. The Röstigraben is blamed when the Swiss French and Swiss Germans choose differently in national votes. But this is not the only language and cultural divide in Switzerland. There's another one between German and Italian-speaking Switzerland, the Polenta ditch. This is also because Ticino's voting choices have often been at odds with the rest of Switzerland. The southern region has tended to back traditional social values, perhaps because of its isolation from the rest of the country. But nowadays, people's voting choices have more to do with whether they live in urban or rural regions, and not so much the language they speak. In a country with 4 languages, mastery of at least 2 of these opens up job and educational opportunities. The most spoken language in the professional environment is Swiss German, followed by High German, French and English. People often have to move to a canton where another language is spoken in search of work. Meanwhile, English is well established as one of the teaching languages in universities, preparing students for careers in fields where English now dominates. Much is made in popular culture in Switzerland of the differences between the language regions. But let's not forget that the 26 cantons willingly got together to form the Swiss Confederation, regardless of all the different languages spoken in those cantons.
You must remember that we are states united under solemn oath. We're friends. Friends. Well, call it what you will. Call it even Switzerland if you must.